Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a new collaboration with MAC Cosmetics. It is the second part of Patrickstarrr's collaboration. So if you're familiar with the first one, it was during the holidays, and I guess you could say it was holiday themed. They came out with a few eyeshadow quads and a powder, which I'm going to be using today since we're using the Patrick collection anyways. They came out with some lip products, and now they're coming out with the second part, which is the Floral Realness collection. So there's two different sets that come with this collection. I only received one of them, and I received the Me So Chic collection. So basically what it seems like is they came out with two different collections. One's a little bit more subtle and neutral wearable springtime fresh looking, and the other one is more like pops of color and bright colors and stuff. So like I said, I got the Me So Chic collection, and each collection comes with an eyeshadow quad, a blush duo, a lip gloss, which is a lip gloss, and a lipstick. So this is the eyeshadow quad that comes with the Me So Chic collection. It's basically a lot of purple tones, and even though this is the more natural type of one, it still has some nice pops of color. I'm so excited to use this. This is the blush that comes with the Me So Chic collection, and this is like a peachy sheeny blush. And then up here it says that it's a blush duo, but this one definitely looks like it could be a contour or like bronzing shade for me, so I might use that for that today. And then the lip gloss and the lipstick, this one comes like a nude set. So this is just like a deepish nude color. And then it comes with a gloss that I think is going to turn into one of my new favorites. It's like a nude gloss, but it's super sparkly and glittery, and that's just, I'm obsessed with those type of glosses right now. And unfortunately I don't have the other collection to show you, which is called the Me So Fleek. But I do have like a little picture here. So this is what the Me So Fleek eyeshadow palette looks like. So it has like a brighter pink, and this is like a shimmery blue color. And I think the blush duo that comes with that collection is just a little bit deeper and maybe a little bit brighter, since that's the more like intense kit, I guess you could say. And then the lip products that come with that set are like this bright purpley pink color, and this is like a photo of Patrick wearing the other eyeshadow palette, so you can see those colors here. MAC also sent over this little face chart to go with the eyeshadow palette that they sent me. So as you can see, you can definitely tone down these eyeshadows. It's just like a really soft purple look. That's obviously the nude lip. But today I think I'm going to do something a little bit more intense, just because I want to, because there's this bright shimmery purple in here that I feel like I need to use, and then also this one here. So I'm definitely going to do something really smoky and intense, but obviously if you get this kit you can definitely make it more soft also. So I'm super prepared with this review today, and this is the first time I'm like breaking stuff down and actually doing kind of a proper review. So if you're liking these type of review videos, and you like kind of this format where I go more in depth about the products and stuff and the pricing, either give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment down below, just so I know that you want to keep seeing videos like this. So each set comes in this box right here, and they each retail for $49.50, so $50. And I thought that seemed like a really good price, so I thought I would kind of try and break it down to see what it would normally be if it didn't come in the set. As you might know, the MAC collections kind of differ in prices, especially with like the limited edition collections. They usually raise the price a little bit because they have all of the fancy packaging and stuff like that. So I went on the MAC Cosmetics website just to kind of try and find like the most similar things that I could to see how much each thing would cost individually. So just as an example, I went on the MAC website and I found this eyeshadow quad, which is the other collaboration that he did with MAC a few months back, and this one retails for $32, so I just said that this one would cost about $32 also. Now the blush was a little bit tricky to find a good price on because I couldn't find any limited edition blushes that were like a duo blush and then also the same size as this one. So I just tried to find the most similar one. It was just a single regular MAC blush, and it costed $24. And then for the standard lipsticks and lip glosses, I looked it up, and a lipstick costs $18.50, and then the lip glosses cost $17.50. So with all of that added up, it added up to $92 total. So if you were to buy about, of course this is like guessing because these aren't like the exact things, especially the blush, but if you were to buy all of these individually, it would add up to be about $92. So considering this whole set is $49.50, I'd say it's a pretty good price for a MAC. $49 is a lot to drop on all at once on like one little makeup kit, but I do think that you get a pretty good amount of makeup for the price. But we still have to use the products. I haven't used any of these products yet, so we'll see if I think they're worth it. So both these sets are going to be available on MAC.com and I think in all MAC stores on April 19th. So I think today I'm going to start with my eyes. I just have my eyebrows on right now. I'm going to prime my eyes and just start applying the eyeshadow just because these are purples, and if you're familiar with purple eyeshadow, they can be a pain in the butt to apply. They can just be really powdery, chalky, not as pigmented. I guess that they're more difficult to formulate or something. So I just figured I'll do my eyes first, that way I don't ruin my face makeup just in case these have fallout and such. So I'm just gonna prime my eyes with just a little bit of concealer today, and then I'm gonna set it with some translucent powder and we'll get into the eyeshadow. So now that I have my eyes primed, I'm going to start using the eyeshadows. I'm going to try my best just to stick with this eyeshadow quad right here, just so I can see if it's easy or you're able to create like a whole eye look just with this quad. You don't have to like pick from other pieces of your collection. So just for a little bit closer of a look, this is what the eyeshadow packaging looks like, and all of the other pieces of the collection match it. I think the packaging is so pretty, and this is what the inside of the palette looks like. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this one and this one are shimmery, and then this one and this one are matte shades. So I think it's nice that even though it's a quad, you have half and half shimmers and mattes. Even though these are shimmery, they're not like super metallic or anything, so I don't know if you could get away actually applying them in your crease. I don't think I'm going to do that today just because I have these other two matte shades, but just something to mention. So I'm going to start by going in with this shade right here, which is called Patrickstarrr, and I'm going to use a Makeup Shack T68 brush. And I'm just going to start by running this all throughout my crease. I'm not going to be precise at all. I'm just literally going to messily run this throughout my crease. Since this is like the only transition shade that we have in the whole palette, I'm just going to keep building this one up until I get the pigment that I want, and just use it to keep deepening the crease. That way when we go in with this shade here, there's not going to be such a big difference because this is obviously a lot darker than this one right here. I'm going to make sure I'm like really blowing this color out. I'm not just going to keep it right in the crease. Since this is going to be our only like transition color, I'm going to make sure to blow it out and smoke it up towards the brow and then outwards too. So far this is performing just like any other MAC eyeshadow, matte eyeshadow that I've owned. MAC eyeshadows are really nice, especially their mattes. I think that they're not really talked about anymore for some reason, just because there's so many other good eyeshadows out there right now, but they don't have a ton of fallout and they also don't have a ton of pigment, so I think it's nice for beginners who want something a little bit easier to apply. Like these are just really easy to apply because there's not too much pigment there and they're really easy to blend out. Now that I've built up that color a little bit and I've blown it out throughout my crease, I'm going to go in with the other matte shade here, which is called Bon Nuit. It's like Bon Nut with an I. And I'm going to use a Zoeva 231 brush. I'm just going to tap into this color really lightly since this is so much darker than the first shade that we went into. I don't want it to be like super crazy pigmented or else it's probably going to be hard to blend out. So I'm just going to grab a tiny bit and I'm going to start going directly into my crease with this color and just follow my crease all the way around. And I'm going to end up wanting the color to be a little bit deeper and more focused right in my crease because I want the deepest part of the color to be in the deepest portion of my crease here. I'm going to bring a little bit of the color onto the inner and outer portions, but I'll just go in with a smaller, denser brush when I want the color to be more intense. This one right here is a Real Techniques brush. Okay, as you can see, I've built the color up to look kind of like this, and I've left the whole middle of my eyelid blank because that's where we're going to be putting the shimmer shades. I really want these shimmer shades to pop, so I thought this would be a really good base. This is by the brand Kiss New York Professional. It's a luxury eye crayon in the color Violet, which it's like almost the exact same color as this shade here, just maybe a little bit more blue, but I think it'll look really good under those shadows. So I'm just going to take that and put it all over the blank part of my lid and then blend it out. And then I'm just going to take a little flat brush. This one's from BH Cosmetics, and I'm just going to pat it out that way it's all even. Now that we have the base down, I'm going to be going in with this shade right here. This one is called Yes. I'm going to take that on a Makeup Shack T58 brush, which is just like a tiny little flat shader brush. I'm going to keep this one right on the inner corner because I want the other shimmer shade to pretty much take up the rest of it, but I want to include this just right in the inner part. Adding this color on top of that base makes it so much more metallic and it pops so much more, I think, than if I were to just apply it on my eyelid normally. And then next I'm going to go in with my favorite color in the whole palette. This is the color Queen Patrick. I'm going to take that on a bit larger of a shader brush. This is the Makeup Shack T52. And this is pretty much just going to go on the whole rest of my eyelid all the way out to the outer corner. And make sure to blend those two shimmery shades together. And then to make sure everything is blended and looks nice, I'm going to go back in with this color here on just a normal blending brush, and I'm just going to bring back a little bit of that color. That way it just looks really nice and blended. And what I think I'm going to do, since this isn't super shimmery all on its own, I think I might take just a tiny bit of this and run it into the outer portion of the crease too, just to make it a little bit more purple, because this color in comparison to this one is so much more purple. I just want to bring a little bit of that into the crease. I do wish this shade right here was just a little bit more purple. I like the deepness of it because I think you need it in a palette like this, but in comparison to this one's so much more not purple, so it just kind of doesn't blend with it super easily is what I find. I honestly think that's the only complaint I have about this palette. I definitely think you can get an entire look with just this palette and not have to pull from anything else, which is really nice. So I'm going to put on lashes before I move on to the face and all that. And in true Patrick fashion, I'm going to use the New Balance Russian Black lashes. This is what they look like. They're really, really full and they flare out a little bit at the end. And if you watch any of his videos, you know that he uses this all the time. Okay, now moving on to the face. I already primed my face using this primer, the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer. And I'm gonna try a little combination that I've never tried before. This is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. I thought I would use this since we're talking about MAC today. But this is really full coverage, and I just find that really full coverage foundations look terrible on my skin right now. Even though I have like a lot of texture and acne breakouts and stuff, I feel like just the lighter coverage it just looks better. So I'm gonna try and mix in this little sample I have of strobe cream and see if that like lightens the coverage and might make it a little bit more glowy. So I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm just gonna try and apply just like the lightest layer ever. I don't know what it is. I used to love like matte and full coverage foundations, but now I just feel like it looks so heavy and just not cute. I actually don't own any MAC Cosmetics concealers. I don't think I've even ever tried a MAC concealer before, so I'm gonna go in with one that I've been trying for a little bit now. I got this a few days ago. It's the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and I have it in the color Fair 08, and I also got the white shade that they just came out with, thinking that this might be a little bit too dark, but they were not messing around with their new shades. They came up with some really, really light shades, so this is pretty light on me, so we're really gonna brighten the under eyes and stuff. I've used this a couple of times. I'm just gonna apply it a little bit. I've used this a few times and I honestly can't tell whether I like it or not. Part of me likes it and part of me is kind of like, it dries and kind of looks cakey, and I just can't decide how I like it. So I'm just gonna keep using it and I'll update you whether I like it or not, but right now I'm just not sure. It's so thick, and it's not the same as Shape Tape, like thick and high coverage. It's different somehow, and I don't know what it is. I'm just adding a little bit more because I feel like, so this is what I feel like with this concealer, is that it's super full coverage, but at the same time it doesn't cover all of my dark circles, and it also looks really heavy. I don't know if it's because I've been going just lighter coverage lately, so I don't know if this is just like, I'm not used to it. But it's just kind of a strange formula. And since we're talking about Patrick's collection, I thought I would bring back the powder that he came out with in his last collection with MAC. I actually don't use this that often just because I love my Maybelline ones so much. This one kind of has like a peachy tint to it, and the other one's just a lot more brightening, so I find I like that one a little bit more, but I do like this powder. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this blush duo that it comes with, and this is in the color I'm Not Blushing. So this color to me looks like it could definitely be a bronzer on my skin tone. I don't know, it kind of is a weird shade. That's what it looks like right there swatched. I might just try to put the tiniest bit like where I would normally bronze just to see what it kind of looks like on my face. And I'm just going to take like a small brush just so it doesn't get into the other blush pan. This is the Makeup Shack T21. I'm just going to lightly dip into there just in case it is like actually comes out kind of pink. I'm just going to brush it really lightly. Yeah, I don't think that's a good contour color. It definitely comes out a little bit pink. So I'm just going to match the other side. I'm actually just going to go in with this bronzer here. This is the Anastasia bronzer in the color Rosewood. I've been loving this bronzer. I've been using it every single day. I truly thought I was going to hate these bronzers, and it quickly became my favorite. So I'm just going to quickly bronze up my face a little bit and then come back and then we'll use the blush duo. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with this, and what I think I'm going to do so I can use both shades, I'm going to go in with this one here. I'm going to go in with this brush here. This is from the It's My Ray Ray collection with BH Cosmetics, and it is the number 3. I'm just going to go in with that little bit of a deeper shade and apply that a little bit higher on my cheekbones and blend it into my bronzer and contour. And then I'm going to go in with the peachy shade. This one has a little bit of a sheen, and holy moly, it's pigmented. Can you see all that on there? This one's pretty powdery and it's really pigmented. So I'm going to wipe a little bit of it off. And I'm going to apply this one a little bit lower on my cheeks and more on the apples. This is a really pretty peachy blush. I'm not so sure that I like it with the eyes. So I don't know if this is like a good one to pair with this eyeshadow, even though it comes in the set with it. I would rather do like a more pinky color with these purples, but again, this is like the softer palette, so I think that they're more planning on you doing a more natural soft look with these eyeshadows. And for a highlight, I thought this would just be a really good highlight to go with the eyes. This is Sassy Grape from Anastasia, and it's from the Sweets Glow Kit. It's just the most like wearable colored highlighter I think I have. It's definitely like a pinkish purple tone, but it's not super like colored in your face. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just one of the best, more unnatural highlight colors. So I'm going to apply that with a Makeup Shack T38 and just go on the high points of my face. I'm just going to go in and apply a black eyeliner to my waterline. I don't have like a deep purple color, but I think if you had like a dark purple, it would look really good with this eyeshadow quad. I'm just going to go in with this deep shade right here. This is the Bon Nut color, and I'm just going to go in with that Real Techniques brush that I used before and drag that really tight all along my lower lash line. I don't want to smoke it out too much because I don't want to look like I have like a bruise on my eye since we're using purple. And to bring back a little of that purple, I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade here on a little pencil brush, and I'm just going to drag that at the very base of the color I just applied. That way it just brings out a little bit more of the purple. Like I said, that deepest matte shade, it kind of, as you blend it, the purple kind of fades away from it. And then I think it'd be really pretty to add this shade here and kind of just place it on the very inner portion of the lower lash line. That way it kind of meets up with the top lid here. Alright, and finally lips. I'm going to line my lips with MAC lip liner in Soar. I just think this will match the lipstick the best. And why do I always try to put lipstick or lip liner on when I'm talking? I have no idea. Alright, so I'm going to go in with the lipstick here. This is in the color Sweet Mama Star, and I'm going to actually compare it to the previous lipstick that he came out with. So before pulling his other collab out, I thought that these were the same color, but now pulling them out, you can see that this one's looks a little more rosy and it's definitely darker than this one. I'll swatch them next to each other in case you have this one. They are pretty similar, but this is the one from the holiday times, and this is in the color Mama Star, so it's definitely darker, and then this one is called Sweet Mama Star, and it's just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to apply Sweet Mama Star. Okay, now for the part I'm really excited for. I think this is going to be a gloss that stays in my purse all the time. These are the glosses that I like to use just all the time, and this is in the color Mama Star Kiss. Oh my god. It's so glossy. It's so glossy, and it has these like pink and golden kind of sparkles in it. I don't know if you can see close up here. The camera just does not do it justice, but it's so sparkly. For some reason, it seems more glossy and less heavy than other MAC lip glosses, which I know is probably not true because honestly, all of these products are standard like MAC products, so they're not any different from like their normal line, if that makes sense. It's just cool that Patrick collaborated with them to make his own shades and stuff. All right, and that completes this look using the new MAC and Patrickstarrr Floral Realness collection. Again, this is the Miso Chic collection. It releases on April 19th and it's about $50. I thought all of the eyeshadows performed really well, especially for purple eyeshadows. Like I said, purples can be really, really difficult to work with, and I thought these performed pretty well. They did have some fallout, which I'm okay with because I usually do my eyes before my face anyways. Again, I think my biggest complaint about this whole collection is just this eyeshadow right here. Even though I do like the deepness of it, I just feel like once you blend it in, it loses some of the purple, and then this one's just kind of too bright for its own good, if that makes any sense. So I think if this one was just a little bit maybe brighter or more purple, it would have been just a little bit better. But if these collections kind of like call to you and you think that you would use them and you think that they're really pretty, and if you like to collect MAC limited edition packaging, this would be a really one to go for if you want to support Patrick. I feel like I went in a little bit more in depth with like about the products and the pricing and all that, so if you want me to include that type of stuff in future reviews and tutorials and stuff like that, then please let me know down in the comments or give this video a thumbs up. That way I know that you enjoyed it. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. That way you don't miss any of my future uploads. I upload once a week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!